Have you ever wondered how a single dynasty could unify China, and why it fell as quickly as it rose? This is a question that has intrigued historians and scholars alike for centuries. The Qin dynasty, a marvel of its time, was a beacon of power and innovation, yet its reign was as fleeting as a comet in the night sky. Emerging from the tumultuous Warring States period, the Qin dynasty wielded power and influence that stretched across the vast expanse of China. The dynasty's accomplishments were many, from the standardization of the Chinese language to the creation of the First Great Wall. Yet, despite its monumental achievements, the Qin dynasty crumbled in less than 2 decades, a paradox that leaves many puzzled. What led to the meteoric rise of the Qin? Why did it fall as rapidly as it soared? Today, we delve into the history of the Qin dynasty, a dynasty of paradoxes, and explore its rise and fall. The Qin dynasty didn't just appear out of nowhere, it had a humble beginning. This story unfolds during the twilight years of the Zhou dynasty, a period marked by chaos and fragmentation. Amidst this tumultuous landscape, the state of Qin, a western frontier region, began to rise. The stage for the Qin's rise to power was set by Duke Xiao, a visionary leader who took the reins in the late 3rd century BCE. To bring about his ambitious vision, he enlisted the help of a reformer named Shang Yang. Together they implemented sweeping changes in the state of Qin, focusing on agriculture and military might. Their reforms laid the groundwork for the emergence of a dynasty that would soon rewrite the course of Chinese history. The Qin's rise to power, however, was not a smooth journey. It was a period marked by power struggles and brutal wars. But through it all, the Qin's military prowess and strategic acumen helped them to continually expand their territories, gradually swallowing up the other warring states. At the heart of this expansion was a young king, Yingzheng. Ascending to the throne at just 13, Yingzheng was a ruler of remarkable ambition and foresight. His leadership was instrumental in the Qin's ascendancy, and under his rule, the state of Qin reached new heights of power and influence. In the year 221 BCE, after a series of successful military campaigns, King Yingzheng accomplished what many thought impossible. He unified the warring states under one banner, establishing the first centralized imperial rule in China. This marked the birth of the Qin dynasty, a monumental moment that forever changed the face of China. King Yingzheng, however, didn't just stop at unification. He declared himself the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, symbolizing a break from the past and the beginning of a new era. He then set about transforming China into a centralized state, introducing a uniform system of writing, currency, and measurements. With Yingzheng's ascension to the throne, the stage was set for the Qin dynasty's golden age. The Qin dynasty, despite its humble beginnings, had emerged as a force that would leave an indelible mark on the annals of Chinese history. Once on the throne, Yingzheng was unstoppable. He was a force to be reckoned with, a visionary whose ambitions were as vast as the land he sought to rule. Rising to power in the 3rd century BCE, this young king of the Qin state would soon become the first emperor of a unified China, marking the start of the golden age of the Qin dynasty. The country, fragmented into warring states, was brought together under his iron fist. The unification of China was no small feat. It required strategic prowess, military might, and a vision that transcended the chaos of the times. But Yingzheng was more than up to the task. His rule brought an end to centuries of warfare and division, laying the foundation for the China we know today. But unification was just the first step. Yingzheng was a reformer at heart. He understood that for his empire to thrive, he needed to create a common identity among his people. And so, he initiated a series of standardization measures that were revolutionary for their time. Writing, weights, measures, all were standardized under his rule. This move not only streamlined trade and communication, but also fostered a sense of unity among the diverse peoples of his empire. Yet, Yingzheng's ambitions did not stop there. He turned his attention to the northern frontier, where nomadic tribes posed a constant threat. His solution was as grand as it was effective: the Great Wall of China. This monumental project, constructed by hundreds of thousands of workers, served as both a formidable defense and a symbol of the power and reach of the Qin dynasty. The golden age of the Qin dynasty was a time of great progress and innovation. Under Yingzheng's rule, China emerged as a unified, powerful empire. His reforms shaped the nation's identity and laid the groundwork for its future. But as with all great empires, the Qin dynasty had its share of problems. Despite its immense power, the Qin dynasty was not invincible. Indeed, even the mightiest of empires can crumble, and the Qin dynasty was no exception. The downfall of this great civilization was not due to an external force, but rather it was the result of internal corruption, heavy taxation, and a rebellion that ultimately led to its collapse. The first signs of decay appeared in the form of internal corruption. The Qin government was known for its strict legalistic philosophy, but this did not prevent officials from exploiting their power for personal gain. This corruption ate away at the integrity of the government, weakening the dynasty from within. Then came the heavy taxation. To fund the construction of the Great Wall and the Terracotta Army, Emperor Qin Shi Huang imposed a burden of high taxes on his people. This led to widespread discontent and resentment among the citizens, who were already struggling under the harsh laws of the dynasty. But the final nail in the coffin of the Qin dynasty was the rebellion led by Chen Sheng and Wu Guang in 209 BC. This uprising, known as the Dazexiang Uprising, was sparked by the harsh treatment of the people and the rampant corruption within the government. While this rebellion was eventually quelled, it was the first of many, and it marked the beginning of the end for the Qin dynasty. The rebellions continued, each one more significant than the last, until finally, in 206 BC, the Qin dynasty was overthrown by the forces of Liu Bang, who went on to establish the Han dynasty. In the face of corruption, heavy taxation and rebellion, the Qin dynasty, once a beacon of power and prosperity, began to crumble. Despite its numerous achievements and innovations, the dynasty was unable to withstand the pressures of its own internal issues. In just 15 years, the mighty Qin dynasty had fallen, a stark reminder that no empire, no matter how powerful, is immune to collapse. The Qin dynasty may have been short-lived, but its impact was enduring. The legacy of the Qin dynasty is as expansive as it is profound. Despite its brief existence, it left a lasting imprint on the annals of Chinese history, setting the stage for the country's development for centuries to come. One of the most influential aspects of the Qin dynasty was its legalist philosophies. This school of thought, which prioritized order and control above all else, played a pivotal role in shaping the administration and governance of subsequent dynasties. The Han dynasty, for instance, adopted Qin's centralized system of governance, albeit with modifications to soften its harsher aspects. This system allowed for greater control and standardization, a legacy that would echo through the corridors of time, influencing China's political landscape even today. The Qin dynasty was also known for its ambitious infrastructure projects, the most famous of which is the Great Wall of China. Though many of these structures have crumbled with time, their remnants serve as a testament to the dynasty's architectural prowess and its commitment to protecting and consolidating its territories. These projects facilitated trade, communication, and military mobilization, setting a precedent for future dynasties to follow. But perhaps the most tangible legacy of the Qin dynasty lies beneath the earth, in the form of archaeological discoveries. The Terracotta Army, an enormous collection of life-size statues buried with the first Qin emperor, provides a fascinating window into the dynasty's military organization, artistic sensibilities, and religious beliefs. These findings have significantly enriched our understanding of this pivotal period in Chinese history. In conclusion, the Qin dynasty's legacy is a multifaceted one. It is reflected in the legalist philosophies that influenced later dynasties, the infrastructure projects that shaped the physical landscape of China, and the archaeological treasures that continue to shed light on its history. Although it rose and fell swiftly, the Qin dynasty left an indelible mark on China's history. So, what can we take away from the history of the Qin dynasty? The Qin dynasty, a brief chapter in China's long history, was as paradoxical as it was pivotal. It emerged with a bang, uniting the warring states and establishing the first imperial dynasty under the rule of Qin Shi Huang. This period was truly a golden age, marked by significant advancements in infrastructure, military strategy, and legal codes. Yet, as swiftly as it rose, the Qin dynasty fell. Power struggles, rebellion, and a heavy-handed approach to governance led to its downfall within just a few decades. But despite its short reign, the Qin dynasty left an indelible mark on China and indeed, the world. From the Great Wall to the Terracotta Army, its impressive accomplishments endure to this day, shaping both the physical and cultural landscapes of China. The Qin dynasty, a dynasty of paradoxes, was a brief but pivotal chapter in China's long history. That's a wrap for today, folks. If you enjoyed, tap that like button. Don't miss out on the fun. Subscribe to stay tuned, the excitement is just beginning.